When I was in Texas, I lived there for about 11 years and worked at a 3,000 family congregation. It was the year 2000, and we had moved into a new house, and our neighbor across the street invited us to come over and welcome us into the neighbor. And we were all sitting around, my daughter and my son and I, with them. And then she proceeded to ask if she could feel my horns. This is the year 2000. And my son, who was about 8 at the time, many of you know him, being how he is, said, "Oh, Mom, let her feel the right one. That's the bigger one." So what does this say about life? That in the year 2000 and at the beginning of a new millennium, that this could actually occur. Every Hanukkah, we would go ahead, you're supposed to put your Hanukkahot out so that people can see them, burning brightly as they go across the street or down the street or walk their dogs or whatever. And we had a mirror above our couch, and we had like a marble table, and we would put them all out. So not only would they be glowing and burning on the table, they would be illuminated and reflected in the mirror, so they would look like double what it was. Every year for 3 years, the plate glass window got shot out by BB guns. 3 years later, we moved back to LA because Sandra was making her quilt, calling us to come forth with Emet in the middle of it. But who knew? And, the rest is history. My husband is currently engrossed in the reading of the book. I think it's called "The Only Good Jews Are Dead Ones." And you can talk to him about this, especially those of you that take the Torah study class on Saturday morning after a service. And he said to me last night, this is getting increasingly disturbing. This is getting really disturbing. Why, I ask you, let's think about it. Why does it have to be this way? And not just for Jews, not just for us, any minority. We are meant to love our neighbor as ourselves. And if anything, the pandemic has proven this point. We are one humanity, all brothers and sisters, and we need each other. The truly bizarre thing is that across denominations, even Jews have historically been at odds with each other. People at times just lose their way. Circumstances get out of control. Pressures of the day overrun all rational thought and behavior. A lack of faith or belief in another way becomes unattainable, and chaos and conflict ensue. Maybe it can be traced back to some basic human tendencies that we actually find in our parsha this Shabbat, Ki Tisa. It's actually quite famous. It's one of the more famous ones. Moses ascends the mountain. He receives the commandments, the tablets, but he stays away just a little too long. The people get antsy. They get scared, and then they're led astray by others who are wanting to usurp Moses' power and claim it for themselves. Everything turns to chaos. Bad choices are made. The golden calf is built. Idol worship returns. A biblical insurrection of sorts occurs, and there is wild mania. I don't know if this sounds familiar to anybody, but it happened over 5,000 years ago. Moses then comes down the mountain. He sees all of this. He has the tablets. He smashes them. There's some commentary. Did he actually throw them down and smash them? Was he so upset that they just slipped from his hands? Regardless, they're smashed and shattered. He then gains control of the group, goes back up the mountain to God, sets everything right, gets another set for us. However, God has had enough. He wants to destroy everybody. Moses intercedes and pleads as he does on behalf of the Israelites over and over and over again, and the rest is history. Over 5,000 years later, we still struggle with issues of faith, belief, impatience, anyone struggle with that? Power struggles, moments of insurrection, and overall chaos. At the time of the golden calf, God said that the effects of their sin would be felt for many generations to come. So I guess the question is, when will this stop? God redeemed us from slavery. It's what we celebrate when we dance around and we sing to the Michamocha. We're going to have Passover coming up. We're going to do the first night Seder on April 15th. You can remember that. It's really not tax day because I think it's Monday. I'm not sure. But anyway, we set ourselves free. We try to, but yet at the same time, we enslave ourselves at moments with doubt and fear and negative impulses or behaviors which actually keep us from ever really being free and living the life that we were meant to, full of promise. The commandments were given to help keep us in line, provide a foundation, yet it is up to us to embody them with mind and heart and spirit, v'chol levavecha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha, like we chant in the Ve'ahavta. Our parsha begins with the commandment to actually provide money to sustain the temple. So many give generously of their time and their resources across all denominations, and yet we are all houses of worship, struggling to survive. Yet struggle in humanity seems to be a part of the equation. It is just an unavoidable part of the human condition. Because without it, we're not going to grow. We're not going to push beyond our current circumstances, our comfort zone, and reach for something better. Or at the very least, expand on where we are rather than becoming complacent and stagnant and satisfied with the status quo, or willing even to let go of what's truly important because we cannot get out of our own way. Has anyone ever experienced that? Surrendering to God's divine plan, going with that flow, even when we don't understand it, even when our heart is breaking, even when our soul feels just mired in the abyss of darkness and despair, or we just don't know or understand what's going on, and we've had some of this, many of us, for the last couple of years. We have to be willing to let go, let God, and surrender, going with that flow and having faith in whatever the outcome, whatever that may be, because God does have a plan for all of us. God divined a brilliant future for us, and we repeatedly got in our own way. We made bad choices. It's all over the Torah. We did the same thing over and over again, which brought us curse many times rather than blessing, and we're still feeling the effect of that today. After this incident, God wanted to send an angel. He said, I'm done. You know what? I'm going to have an angel guide you on your journey. I don't need to be with these people. And Moses implored and said, please, please, stick with us, stick with us. Stick with them. And God did. Now it is up to us to do the same. In Kabbalah, it is stated, our relationship with the light is uniquely ours. It is always with us, and it does not require anything outside of ourselves. The energy of our parsha, ki Tisa, helps us to strengthen our communication and build a relationship with the light, to reveal the Emet, reveal the truthful answers we're seeking. Ki Tisa, our parsha, this Shabbat, is the parsha of second chances. Let us not squander them. We do live in challenging times, but so too did the Israelites. We have a lot more creature comforts, yet we need to not get too comfortable. And remember, as we do at Sukkot, everything we have is but lent to us. The structures that we build are temporary. Anything can happen at any time to tear them down. What remains constant is God, as our rock, as our redeemer, as our ultimate guide, if we but let him or her. If we believe, if we have faith that the darkness will be replaced by the dawn, and that promise awaits if we just have a little more patience and hang on. This Shabbat and in the months ahead and the years beyond, may God be our guide. May we surrender and allow that flow to take place around us and through us and moving us forward. And may the sacrifice of Moses make us worthy. And may we go forward with light, fulfilling the promise that is seen, was seen, is within us, and is also laid out before us. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom.